Manifesting is really not as complex as others would have you believe. When you daydream or create a thought, you are letting the universe know your intentions. As we grow and expand, we don't always recognize that all thoughts, whether negative or positive, is manifesting your future reality. When you understand that you are already a master manifester and co-creator with the universal consciousness, you begin to know your core belief affects your ability to clearly and concisely create your future. Many of us do not understand we are the writers, directors, and producers of our experiences in partnership with the universal consciousness, who assists in our creation of those manifestations. They do not do it for you. Knowing what you don't want and knowing what you do want is the key to manifesting a positive outcome. Manifesting is a cooperation between you, the universe, and your guides. So keep it precise and know how the universe does not create for you. They can only assist you in your reality and your free will choice. Having a balanced approach will determine your outcome. You yourself must take steps to align yourself with your dreams and visions of your future. Understand you must move yourself into the direction you desire and raising your vibration to meet your reality and take responsibility for it. The universe does not create it for you. They simply assist you in the process. Negative thinking, overthinking can create obstacles in your way, so be careful about what you put out there. 17 seconds is the amount of time it takes to create your reality. And when you understand the human brain can think in excess of 60,000 thoughts a day, you can see why it's important to be precise. Creative thinking and future scenarios will help you gain a more direct route because you have free will, consciously aware of your thoughts, and will determine a positive or negative outcome when doing so. And finally, the fact that you are human and in the Earth School means you are already a master manifester. Join us live. Awesome. Welcome everybody to Andromeda 7, your celestial gateway, your channel for community support, help, friendship, love, knowledge, and just plain being of value to others. Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, it's good to have you with us. And if you're returning, thank you very much. And you know what tonight is? It's Friday night. It's time to feed your mind and grow your heart. Tonight's topic is manifesting your destiny, and I hope you all enjoyed that new opening. So let's welcome the panel, everybody. We've got Teresa D'Antone, welcome. Sophia Rasmussen, welcome. Griff, Jeannie Musgrave, good to have you with us. Jules, the alchemist. Grandpa Brian, good to have you with us. Queen of Courts and
Hey,
Delabor Suki. Good to have you
What's up?
here. So tonight we are talking about manifesting our destiny. And because you are already in the human body, you are master manifestors. And tonight I kind of wanted to, let's go ahead and just give chat a quick acknowledgement. Let's see, Caroline, sweet Caroline, it's good to see you. It's been a while. I saw your video. Yeah, awesome. Scotty boy, glad you're down to earth tonight. You're here, you're with us.
Yeah.
Grumpy Stack, looking good. Good to see you.
Brian. Hi, Brian.
Chloe, always a pleasure.
Chloe,
Thank you for being
Hi,
here,
Chloe.
Chloe. Go. Haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you as well.
Yeah, hey, Go.
Yeah. Let's see who else we got. Looking. I think we pretty much got everybody so far. So good. Well, there we go. So Teresa,
Yes,
how do you manifest your destiny? What's your skill?
It just happens every day, and I finally realized this week, believe it or not, just yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And early this morning, I've already manifesting it. I'm always manifesting it.
Right.
So, but I do it through, I have a number of ways that I go about it. I meditate. I talk to my guides a lot. The interaction I have with you and the creative exchange of ideas and discussions that we have, Karen too,
Mm-hmm.
Jeannie.
Mm-hmm.
So I manifest through my friends by exchanging knowledge and information and experience, and constantly visualizing, constantly astro traveling. An astro explorer, so I take myself on all kinds of to all kinds of locations and places, and that way I can get to determine what I like and what I don't like, and so lucid dreaming is another way of doing it. So I just am always thinking about my values, what I like, what I don't like, what I want, and I always end up right back at I'm already there. I'm already
Mm-hmm.
manifesting it. So I might have details and bits and pieces that haven't come to fruition yet,
Mm-hmm.
but every day something happens, or there's an obstacle or something a hurdle I have to get through, and I
Mm-hmm.
have to let go of the emotions, and that's hard to do sometimes. But
Mm-hmm.
it's constant inner flexion, and
Mm-hmm.
it's constant realization and acceptance, and always what's good about this, you know,
Mm-hmm. As
and
Jules says.
when you're going through it, sometimes you don't know that. Sometimes it's like the anxiety and tension builds, and then you have to release, whether it's
Yeah.
tapping it out, dancing, or talking about it.
Try not to take life so seriously.
Yeah,
That's what I'm learning how to do rather quickly. Don't take it
yeah.
so seriously. Yeah.
Shift your thoughts. Do something fun if it's not working. If you're getting to that
Yeah.
point where it's frustrating,
And
or
know that moment's going to pass eventually. It's going to
yeah,
pass. And a new
yeah,
day will come and things will change and you'll shift and life goes on. Yeah.
yeah. And the details. There's always going to be details because you can build it and grow your visions. It's
Yeah.
like Brian Barnett once said: you're driving down the road, you're playing the radio,
Hmm.
and you have a nice tune that you really get into,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
because you're moving, the signals are changing, the
Hmm.
frequency might change, and you have to tune the dial to keep hearing the music, and then eventually you go so far away from the radio station that all of a sudden you're listening to a different channel.
Hmm.
So then you have to tune it back to find something else that you really, really want. So you're constantly tuning in to the
Hmm.
frequency that you want to
That's
have
a good way to
occur.
put it.
Good
Yeah,
analogy, Teresa.
Very
That's
good.
a good analogy. Yeah, good
Yeah, I
one.
like
yeah,
that.
About
Hmm.
tuning into the frequencies
Yeah.
that make you vibrate at the frequency that you wish to
yeah,
be.
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah.
How about you, Sophia? How do you manifest your destiny?
Well, I really enjoyed the intro. That said a lot of it right there.
Ah,
But
thanks.
you're welcome. A lot of it is the same thing I've been saying since it's almost been a year since we've been hanging out, you guys. Can you believe it?
Dang, I know.
Fast.
I
But about a
did.
year ago, it's the natural law, thoughts are things. If you want something in your life, I at least found somebody who had what I wanted, and follow suit. Sometimes traditions and lifestyles and the way that you think is learned from someone else, especially when what you were doing wasn't working for you. So, and basically, I think one thing that's kind of oversighted as far as manifestation is concerned, if you do have, the 2 or 3 close friends, that you can work with, to do the new moon, the full moon, the corners, the cross corner years, to amplify each other. Because I don't know about you, my core group, we want our highest and best for each other. And doing something like that together is
Hmm.
just, it's kind of like fertilizer and that
Yeah,
manifestation
fertilizer.
part
I
of me.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
that's
more the
mine.
merrier.
Right. And then the other thing that I use is the universe only knows yes. At least
Right.
that's my experience.
I agree.
So, and what I have embraced and been using for quite some time now is I am, because in my opinion, when I am something, no
Hmm.
matter what it is, I'm
Hmm.
asking my higher self, bring that here to my consciousness now.
Hmm.
That's what I want right here, right now. If it's love,
Mm-hmm.
light, truth, peace, but the I am is the projection of the will to receive it.
Yeah.
And you can't say I am not. I mean, you might as well just not say anything at all and
Hmm.
mean it and then follow it up with action. That's
Yeah.
what I did. And I'm a perpetual student, and that's why I love this particular channel and the people on it, because we're all on the same page. Let's
Yeah, it's
grow.
good to be on the same page, no doubt
Yeah, it
about it.
feels good.
Different
Yeah.
perspectives and observations, but same page, same vibe.
Yeah.
And go
Enough
outside.
different
Yeah.
to bring something to the table. It's funny that you mentioned the I am, Sophia, because I remember being 5 years old and I remember thinking to myself, I am. And I thought that was strange. I am 5 years old.
You're an
So,
old soul.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, she is.
I
I'm
like
going
this
outside.
incarnation. I like the avatar too. I like the life that I built for myself. So I'm feeling really good about that. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Good.
Yeah,
Ms.
that's
Jean,
about it.
how about you? How do you manifest
Griff.
your destiny?
Griff.
Griffy, you're on,
Well,
Griff.
a lot that's said is across the board when you're looking to manifest. And I know a lot of part and parcel to manifestation is looking at trends and patterns and looking at in an intellectual capacity to find out what these trends are. And then when you go into that higher frequency, which is truth, then you find all that is. And and from there you go out to there's different avenues to truth.
Mm-hmm.
But there's only really one truth.
Your truth.
Well, but but intellectually you have to be on an intellectual. It's not, when you have the
You're saying truth
pattern,
is truth, right?
when you have the patterns, you have your right brain and your left brain, and to be together with your right and your left patterns, then that's when you're most balanced. And so when you get to a pattern that are coming together, that is your highest manifestation.
Oh.
And so, well, see, I'm a little bit older than all y'all. So after a while, you start seeing your own patterns. And
cycles,
they can,
programs, that kind of stuff.
You have seasons, you have winter, spring, summer, fall, and then it all over again. So you have these patterns. And when you gather them and you look at them, you can see, do I want that? Do I not want that? How does it make me feel? And then you ask, well, well, what do you want? There's different questions, of course, you ask yourself, and then you put them out. And I go to Mother Nature. That's the way I go.
We're part of the earth, so it explains why we're all so connected to Mother Earth. We're actually made up of the earth, carbon. So,
and that's just, that's just the way I look at it, from the perspective that I've come to. And I know there's a lot more that we just don't really have time to go into, because it's a big panel, and because there's so much, that the layers upon layers upon layers that you find attachments to, and then some you just have to let go. And then that's manifesting a new venture, a new journey, a new paradigm. Whatever that is. Paradigm could be a paradigm. It may not be a paradigm. It just it's a different you, because you've decided that, you know, you've had this breakthrough, and then you know,
Mhm.
you ask yourself a story. Like if you really want to go into it, you ask yourself a story, you know, the magician versus the warrior and vice versa. And then you go to the lover, and then you go to the sovereign, and then you mix it up and you make this, you
Mhm.
have to find that, you have to find that part of you that's that you're manifesting.
Hmm.
And it could be on all different levels,
Yeah.
you know.
Interesting view.
And
I hear you.
but it's all in natural. To me, it's like natural law versus, like, let's say maritime law, so to speak. Because we all know that there's laws, and if there's any laws at all, I prefer to just go with the mother nature and the natural laws,
Yeah.
you know.
There you go. Yeah.
No,
Thanks,
sure.
Gra. Jules, the alchemist. How do you manifest your destiny? And you're a very good manifester, by the way. I know this about you.
I was just going to say I have no idea.
You just
Go
get
with-
up,
go
you
with
get
the
out,
flow
you
every
do
day.
it. Yeah, exactly. All right, Karen.
What was that? What did she say?
You just do it.
Yep.
That's it. You just
go with
be.
the
You just
flow.
be.
Yeah, just be you.
But yeah,
Well, you
yeah.
know,
Just be.
if there's multiple versions of you, Jules, if you're
Yeah.
everywhere at the same
Yeah.
time, all the time, you're doing it everywhere. You've already manifested each destiny.
Yeah. Well, well, I know we've already won. I know I'm restoring planet Earth. I mean, I know those things because of how I receive. Probably, and I've this week again, because the energy's really clearing and a lot of the old paradigm, whatever you want to call it, is leaving the planet. I'm still clearing myself and working on still things and realizing some things, of course. But of course, as everyone knows, I work with the language. So it's man, I feast, because you're not festing anything. You're not a fester. You're not fussing out everywhere.
No.
So they dropped the A out of the festival. They dropped the A out of man, I feast, you know. They put it as fest. So, you know, if you want to look at it, but that's the angle I come from. And of course, that's how I started to do a lot of manifesting. But I obviously was doing it before the spell, because it's obviously innate in me, working with nature. But, you know, I just want to just quickly express something to the panel, or a lot of the older members that have been in Andromeda. When we first started, you seen the state I was in right at the first one when we were having our initial thing, where I expressed, I was very emotional to one of the drawings, right, that was going to be, well, in dealing with that presence of negative aliens, or I don't want to, extraterrestrials just mean extra more of our territory. We just haven't been able to see them, and they're starting to show themselves now. If you want to look at it from that angle, there's other beings on this planet that we just haven't been able to see, right? Now, the other night I was out looking at this particular star that was very orange, and 10 lights went flashing in front of me, and one flashed, and Colleen's seen it as well. So I was able to see that. I was ready to see that. So I'm now ready to see that. Whereas if that had probably been shown to me in whatever, I probably wouldn't have seen it because I wasn't ready to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, we've got a question for you, Jules. Can you, and this is from GoGo, thank you for the question. Can you please ask Julie what she thinks of Mary Rodwell from Australia? Thanks. Do you know
I don't
Mary
think
Rodwell?
I don't think I know. I don't know Mary
Okay.
Rodwell as far as I don't. I mean, it may be someone, but I can't say she's right in my self now. Like, I don't know. Yeah, unless someone showed me an image of her, and but I'll go and look her up, and then I might be able to answer the question. But
she kind of looks like an alien herself.
Oh, does she?
That's interesting.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, people come over the border and they're aliens as well if you don't know them.
There you go.
Yeah.
And
An alien's
the
an
word-
alien.
the actual alien just means all eye in when you go and look it up,
There you go.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just another.
And in
Another
German,
energy.
in German, allein means alone,
Mm.
but it's spelled
Alone is all one.
alone. Yeah, all
Yeah.
one.
It's all one.
Alone.
So how can there be any aliens? Because it's all eye in.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we are all one, that's for sure. I don't know what I'd do
Anyway.
if I saw an alien. I think I'd be like, do you have a passport? Do you have something that tells me who you are?
Well, you know, you can look at each other and the way we look. Some people do look a little bit different, don't they?
Mhm.
You know, like someone might look at me and they go, "You look like a bloody alien." I mean, meaning a fairy or a tree or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Yeah. Gotcha. How about you, Grandpa Brian? How do you manifest your destiny? 3, 2, there it is.
I think it, I believe in it, I own it, and I live it.
Mm.
I know there's sometimes things
Exactly.
come up, circumstances that might
Mhm.
alter it, but I started thinking about that. That could be something that you need to experience, you agree to experience, or
Mhm.
it could be, you know, a lesson that you need to learn. So there's certain circumstances that come up in your reality, and it's just things you need to learn or things that you agree with. But for the most part, I think what I think about, what I believe, and what I own, I'm able to manifest.
Mhm. So what you think about, you bring about, as Trina
Yep.
would always say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Totally.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about you, Queen of Courts, Karen? How do
Well,
you manifest your destiny?
Oh, and my reality and my destiny?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, okay. Well,
How do you
first of
get her
all-
done?
Oh, I'll tell you. I'm pretty. I've done this for a long time. So
Nice.
okay. So first of all, being in the neutral field that we're all exist in,
Mhm.
it's up to us individually what we want to manifest, either positive or negative.
Mhm.
So that's why our thoughts are so important.
Mhm.
So and what thoughts you have daily, every moment,
Right.
every day, every
Mhm.
week, and what's your prevalent thoughts will create your reality, positive or negative in some respect. Now, how it works is that yes, what I do to create my reality and manifest my destiny is yes, your thoughts do create your reality. So I usually have a pattern, and mine's my morning. I'm a morning person.
Mhm, me too.
So I get up very early,
Mhm.
5, 6 in the morning most times, and I have 2, 3 hours that I like to just sit with myself.
Mhm.
And what I do is I think about and shift myself in a daydream type of meditative state. I imagine all my different options. What I do is I play them out in my head in a full vision, color, go through the whole scenario. And what I determine with each of my visions that I want to maybe explore to get clarity as far as what I want to manifest, I see how I feel about and what kind of emotions I get from each of the perspectives that I'm running through my mind. Because remember, it's all daydreams and visions and scenarios, and you're playing the whole thing through and seeing how it works out. Well, how do I feel about this? Okay. And how do I feel about this? So I run all of those through my filter to see how I feel about it. And once I've determined how I feel about something, then it's time to act. Okay. So how we create our reality is first by thought. Then by our thought, it determines how we feel about something. Then how we feel about something determines the action we're going to take. Now, we only manifest a destiny really at the moment we actually move in the action phase of that. Meaning when we get up off the couch, or we decide we're going to go out the door, or we could decide we get the thought of whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. You will not manifest it until you make a physical action towards that. So our universe, or the neutral field, That's the only time that it knows exactly when to step in almost and decide when you're really serious about manifesting something. Until then, you can sit there and on a couch and have constant thoughts about something you might want to do. But until you take a step forward and do an action towards that movement, it will not manifest. Okay.
Right. You got to move towards it. Yeah, I agree.
You got to make a step
Mhm.
of any kind of action.
Right.
Versus looking for it can be any simple thing. Okay, so that's what I do. So as soon as I feel about it, then I take the next steps with it's the action. Once you do the action, then it's a matter of just looking for all the windows, the doors, the people, the connections, and it just all blows up into big.
Oops, you got muted.
Somehow she got muted. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Oops.
Okay.
There
you
it
go.
is. You're good.
Once you do that, it's a matter of letting the universe, the neutral field, take hold because you've made that motion, and then you've created, and really your destiny or reality starts to unfold. Oh my God, yeah.
Mhm.
So that's what I do.
So
That's
the universe is up there watching you and seeing you. Oh, she's going this way. Okay, let's all shift.
That's
let's
right.
move over. Yeah, I totally agree with that. 100%.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because remember, our reality kind of is a reflection, a holographic image or anything. It will give you exactly what you kind of ask for in respects, right?
Mhm.
When you're manifesting things. So so it really will manifest, especially if you make movement or action, a physical action towards something. Yeah. And everybody knows that because we all create something, right? Even
Right.
Jeannie. Like, I mean, look at what you would have done, Jeannie, to manifest what you did as far as you moved to the homestead and how you did
It's a
that.
good example.
Then the energy it took and the thoughts and the process, but right, you had to take steps of actually, how do I feel about it? What's involved? Okay. And then you had to actually make physical actions towards doing it, right? To make it manifest. Right?
Oh, remind me, why don't you?
I know. What the heck? That's like anything, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you've been through it too, my dear Karen. You've been through it. Look what you went through during
over and over. We all have.
the CVD thing, the CV19 or whatever the heck it was.
No, and it's a constant journey, as everybody says, over and over, right? It's like Teresa says, every day we're creating our reality, creating our destiny every day, every morning we wake up, and so many complex, different levels of action, thought, and action, and doing, and feeling. So
yeah. Well said. Well said, Karen.
There you go.
Yeah.
How about you, Delabor? How do you manifest your destiny?
Well, it's pretty much like what all the other panelists said. It ultimately boils down to the first principle of alchemy, which is mentalism. In other words,
mentalism.
You really can't not manifest because you're always thinking, and ultimately everything you think about winds up transpiring, whether it's a transient thought or whether it's a fleeting thought or if it's out of emotion or something. It sooner or later manifests. That's why one of the most important pursuits in life is not only ethics but also thought control, because ultimately everything you think about is will
potential manifestation.
Potential manifestation, and just like Karen said, yes, it's not just the thought. It ultimately boils down to some kind of an action, and sometimes that action can be something much more prosaic than you can imagine. Like for instance, I'll give a good analogy. If I wanted to drive from here to England, well, it's as simple as like just exiting my driveway and making a right. Okay, that's it. But if I make a left, I'm not going to get there.
It's the long way around.
Yes, it's a very long way. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a. Go ahead, Delabor. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. Well, see, so ultimately, you have to make a concerted effort as to what results you want to see in your life, and based on that, attempt to have those kinds of thoughts. And usually, those kinds of thoughts that you have are what your life is ultimately going to be looking like. If you want to know what's in somebody's subconscious mind, have a look at what their apartment looks like. Have a look at what their property looks like.
So true. So true.
That's why I
Yeah.
changed everything in my
Absolutely.
house. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
if you don't like that, if you don't like what you see, then that's a reflection of something that's inside you. So just like you said, Teresa, if you rearrange all your
Yeah.
furniture, that does have an effect on rearranging the mind.
I
Because
have been
Oh,
so
of course.
much more
everything,
Feng
happy.
shui. Hmm.
yeah,
I have been so much more happy these past couple months because I did that, and I'm still making little subtle changes.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know.
It lets the universe know you're ready for change too,
Yeah,
because what you
change,
put
Yeah.
change is good.
up,
Yeah,
it's because
yeah.
that's the fourth principle. That's polarity. In other words,
Mhm.
a change in your mind will be reflected by a change in your physical surroundings. A change in your physical surroundings will be reflected by a change in your mind.
Mhm.
exactly.
Mhm.
Well,
I like it.
about the change and how healthy that is, and just because I remember seeing, sorry, about exactly change, and believe it or not, it was a show, a documentary I watched about the natives or Aboriginals in jungles and different things. And believe it or not,
Yeah.
part of their movement was, and why they moved, is that they thought it was unhealthy to stay in the same place and root up and to destroy the environment to the point of staying there. So every so many months or however, when it was time for the tribe, they would move constantly to make that change. So that was
Hmm.
healthy for change and not stay rutted and stuck in the same spot, always. So they knew automatically to always change their village or location, and that change was good. And by making that change, it was good for the whole environment and
Mhm.
patterns and everything of not ruining, staying too long in one spot.
Hmm.
And
Mhm.
what happens there. So that they knew that deep within their cultures of the movement and the change of
Stewardship.
their
Mhm.
environment.
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
stewardship of the land, and how to move about and live with
Mhm.
it. So that was right in their culture to
And
Yeah.
how
ultimately,
healthy it was. And they thought people that stayed too long in one spot were ill and would get ill and kind of were ill, like thinking, and there was a
well,
mental
Mhm.
see,
illness.
yeah,
Stagnant. It's the
that,
energy becomes
Hmm.
stagnant, and so a lot
that's
of people, especially around in modern times, are very resistant and reluctant for change, and it
well,
fascinates me.
that's the sixth principle, because
Yeah.
the sixth principle would be cause and effect. In other words, you have to constantly evaluate um, every one of those effects that you manifest and tie it in with a thought. In other words, you constantly have to go through like that what I call an OODA loop: observation, orientation, decision, action. You're constantly doing that, whether you call it that or not. But
Hmm.
it's realizing the cause and effect, and the effect to the cause, correlating one with the other, because nothing happens without a cause. Nothing.
Hmm. Very
Yeah.
true. And also the other thing is
You always want
not
to be the
having
cause
fear
and the
of your
effect.
thoughts. Yeah. When you're
Mhm.
thinking and you're trying to manifest something, don't let fear come into it. I'm afraid if I do this, this will happen. And then what happens?
Yep.
That very
Yeah.
thing you were afraid of happens. And it's
Hmm.
because you put it out there. And
Hmm.
it's that powerful. So it really is important to just think about your thoughts. Just keep a positive mindset, always first and foremost. And that way you can keep your equilibrium, and you're not being swayed one way or the other.
Right. A friend
That's
of
the
ours said. A
yeah.
friend of ours said. She says the universe. What did she say on her video? She says the universe hears whatever you put out there. They don't know, but so they'll act on it. They, meaning the conscious all, they'll act on it. So if you put something out there like, I hate my life, or I can't stand my house. I was doing that. I can't stand the stuff around me. I never get, and I want to change nothing. And the universe goes like, okay, that's what you get.
That's right.
You'll
You
get,
get
you're going to
exactly
get
what you
more
asked
crap.
for. That's right.
This,
Hmm.
that
Mhm.
universe holds up a mirror. It's all
Yeah.
of us holding up a mirror to one another going, we heard that,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
You've asked
and I
for it.
pray.
And
Yeah.
the other thing I would say is be
Yeah,
careful
be
what you wish
careful what you
for.
ask for.
Be
That's
careful what you
right.
wish for, because a lot
Yeah.
of amateurs, so to speak, will what do you desire most, and he's going to say money. But there's a lot of ways you can get money. There's a lot of ways and one of those ways you
And
could
there's
get a lot of
plenty of
money
money.
is a loved one dying and you inheriting all their stuff, or you breaking a bone and getting damages or something. There's ways of making money that you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
very true. Yeah. You just
Yeah.
have to be careful what you put out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or
And
your
what
house
and
burning down or something like that.
Mhm.
So
yeah.
Conscious creation.
That's right. And
Mhm.
then what I do, and I know most of our panels do, and we do this as well. So once we've gone through the process of being clear, having more clarity about what we want as far as our reality and destiny, which is our continual thought pattern, right? And to determine, and that's where you get rid of the negative thoughts. You can monitor your thoughts to decide, which way you want to go. But then that's where it comes into effect. Then next, where we use intent. And that's where we start using into all of our tools that all of us use to create and manifest. For me, it might be patterns and cycles like astrology. So I really watch my energies. And so I really know when to act on certain things. Or, you might use crystals, of course. I use tons of crystals to set my intent to manifest my reality. But that's only after I'm pretty clear about what I want to do, in my thinking process and emotions, and then how I feel. And then I decide, or I pick up tools that will then set that intent, right? It's all about setting the intent, the right
You're
intent,
aligning that intent.
energy and
You're
focus
like
to then create it.
the runway.
And we all
Yep.
like tools, right? There's
Yes.
all kinds of tools.
Sure.
I'm not going to go into them. All of us
Mhm.
have our ones. Mine are
Yeah.
crystals. I like crystals.
Sure.
And other
Who doesn't
things,
like a shiny crystal? Come on.
That's right.
Who doesn't like a shiny crystal?
And the energies involved. So we have all kinds.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
am the shining crystal.
That's right. That's right. You are. So then that's what I find helps with creating
Amen, Jules.
manifest to use all the tools then to focus that energy, and it's all the constant intent of your focus that then manifests that. The neutral field in our universe is looking for how much energy do you spend on something, and that's what will manifest, right? So
Mhm.
that's why intent and tools are important to use once you know.
Yeah,
You
I
see
agree.
Max
So
You
Vision
always
in the
want intent, though. You
Max
always
Vision in the
want
chat
the
room.
intent.
He's in there
I'm sorry.
manifesting junk and clutter because he keeps talking about he clears it out and it shows up again within a year. Max,
Like
I'm
instantly.
with you.
Max's comment was gold. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's great.
Mhm.
What?
What did Max say?
What he's basically saying, without coming out and saying it, is he's manifesting junk, clutter in his house. He
No, but
clears it out, and it's like it shows up again right away, or within a year. And
Yeah.
I'm the same way. It's like
Yeah.
I told Lori, sometimes I'm like a hamster in a cage. I just get rid of all this stuff, and my brother keeps bringing it back in. Now I'm not manifesting that; he just keeps bringing it back in. But maybe I'm manifesting the ability for
So
him to
you
do
live
that.
with a packy pack rat.
Yeah. And I clear out a whole room, and it's like there's space. It's like having
Yeah.
an office, and you clear off your desk, or you get a bigger desk. You just create more junk. Then you get
Mhm.
another desk, and now I've got two. I've got a credenza and a desk. Aren't I hot? Then within a day or two,
Yeah.
it's all trash.
I love having a credenza.
Yeah.
Sophia, I think you had a question.
Yeah, she was going to say something.
Yeah, or a comment.
Yeah, it was kind of in reference to, you have conscious thoughts where you're getting ready to act, and then you have unconscious thoughts. And I would say how we speak to ourselves is also important, because if you're going to take the time to do the work,
Mhm.
right, don't self-sabotage that. At least I bring it up because I think conscious thoughts and conscious seeds are important, but also the unconscious. What are you reading right before you go to bed? Those
Mhm.
are watching, because that's generally what kind of seeds your unconscious is gonna. At least that whatever I read before I go to bed, sometimes I dream about it, so I make sure it's
Yeah,
not good.
correct.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and
correct.
that's the best
Or-
time
or
to work on
read, or-
things.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
when
Well, of
you're
course, that's why they
Oh,
say
dreaming.
never to go to bed angry at your partner, and
Oh,
never to
yeah.
go
for
to bed upset. That's why,
Yeah.
basically, because you're going to toss and turn all night and have
Mhm.
dreams and not be rested, and
Yep.
it's all energy. You're right, Sophie. Exactly. It's
Good
very
point,
important.
Sophia. Mhm.
That's just
Yeah.
what I had. Thanks for
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
the good
That's
chat.
Yeah.
Conscious
That's being
thinking.
authentic. It's being authentic.
That's right,
Yeah.
Griff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
with
so-
yourself.
a
Mhm.
lot of
Yeah.
that unconscious
It
stuff.
has to come within first. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
but a lot
being
of that.
authentic. Yeah.
Go ahead,
A lot of
Delabor.
a lot of that unconscious stuff comes in through the language, through the
Mhm.
figures of speech that people use that they don't even realize. Something
Words mean
happens.
things.
Yeah, something happens and somebody says, "Oh, fuck me," or like and that's not a good thing to
Good and
say.
everything. Just bust off the
No.
F-bomb.
Yeah, it's not a good thing to say, because ultimately, if you mean it, in a negative way, then that's
Shit. Ah, Delabor.
yeah.
Delabor.
But it's the figures of speech that a lot of people, you gotta analyze that, these repetitive
Yeah.
figures of speech that we use that could be negative,
Right.
when
Or
interpreted
saying like
internally.
calling yourself stupid. I'm so stupid.
Yes,
And I
that's
really
another one.
don't like
Yeah.
that one. I don't want to hear that. I don't want
Or
and I
I'm gonna kill him. That's another
yeah.
one. It's
Or I
another one.
hate.
Oh yeah, that's a
That's
bad
another one.
Hate.
I hate this. I hate that. I hate
Mhm.
this. I
Mhm.
fear this. I did
Yeah.
and it's like you can do that all day long, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
when
contempt. That's
Yeah.
like contempt, which is
Definitely.
when the
yeah.
F me
Mhm.
or F you program is running, anything can happen. And it's usually you drop something on your toe, or you slam something like a copier on your finger, or you spill
Mhm.
coffee all over your shirt. And I've noticed it every single time. I used to have road rage. I would hang out the window.
I still do.
I could say 12 things at one time in one breath,
Mhm.
And I would either knock over a mailbox, knock over a trash can, almost run over somebody in the parking lot. I'd grab the basket and go through the store and slam everything, all because of one little bit of road rage.
So I just want to make one comment about the road rage. It's interesting. I didn't know that, Teresa. So road rage equals equals major accident.
Yes,
Yeah.
you manifest your reality.
I'm just saying. All I know is that you've had a major accident, car accident, or vehicle accident. So now you talk to me. You had road rage. Well,
Mhm.
Oh no, that was
Mhm.
everybody slid. Everybody slid. I didn't have road rage. No road rage.
No. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
What are you
That
saying?
caused the accident. I'm just saying, in your personality, you said you used to always manifest
I used
rage
to,
and
yeah,
used to be road rage. So it doesn't surprise me then if that's how you were, that you had an accident, that's how it manifested.
Well,
in the
it
future
could
as
be.
a car accident
Yeah,
somehow with your road rage.
When I had that bus
I don't know.
accident in 2010, that's exactly what happened. It wasn't road rage, but I had that personality. The customers were driving me insane. They were they were so badly, they were acting up so bad. We had to throw one guy off the bus. So I was already in that energy.
That's what I mean.
And instead of having rage, I just my thoughts were, I can't wait to get off this bus. I hate this job.
See?
I don't want to be here anymore. And somebody hit me.
Yeah.
There.
And the
So you
universe
just-
goes,
now you're
let's-
getting what I'm
let's
saying.
really
about your road
get-
rage
yeah,
and
let's really
energy.
prove our
I
point
just
here.
connected that automatically. That's
yeah.
I
Jules,
wasn't
you-
awake then at all.
Jules,
Sorry,
Jules
Teresa,
had.
with
I'm
your
sorry.
accident.
Jules had a comment.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jules. You had a comment.
I just go sugar.
Sugar. Sugar.
Well, the kids would
That's
like if you go, something just happened to your foot. Oh, sugar.
Yeah.
And so it's all sweet then.
Then you're manifesting, of course, your life of sugar and plums and everything nice.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Mhm.
I like to say I'll do something like, "Gosh darn it, those flapjacks," or just anything other than like the real dirty, gritty cuss words.
Mhm.
I'll be like,
Or you say
"Ah,
nothing."
flapjacks." Yeah, I know. I have to say something.
Fraction.
You don't even
Sugar from where I came from means that you're like retarded. So
No.
yeah,
Really?
like calling you
Oh.
Daisy.
Oh,
It's like
really?
calling you
Daisy?
Daisy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Lazy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
I'll
Daisy,
own
like
that then.
a
I'll own
daisy
that.
is
I'll
like a
own
wildflower.
You're a daisy
know?
if you do.
And you're Daisy if you don't. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Gotcha.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
Wow.
means different things for different people, you know.
Sure,
Things do.
that's why
'Cause
I'm just trying to be creative.
Words mean things, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All of them mean things to different cultures and different, just like when you do the finger, you know, in some
Yeah.
cultures that means good, and other
No,
cultures
to me, it means you're number
it
one
means
with me
too much
too.
fun.
Happy
Mhm.
Saturn to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
Saturn. You're right.
Exactly.
You're right.
And
Exactly.
it is in Palm
Mhm.
Street. You got Jupiter, Saturn,
Saturn.
and Mercury.
Exactly.
Saturn is the
Oh yeah, Susie
You're
Q.
right.
I like that one. Oh,
Man.
Snapdragon. I'm using that one.
That's
I
good.
love
Saturn
that.
to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
Snapdragon.
one,
That's
Susie
a good
Q.
one, Susie
Yeah.
Q.
Yeah, I like
Mhm.
that.
See, I can't
Too
stop
much fun.
myself long enough. It's usually really if somebody does that that's
Really?
my go-to. But
Mhm.
if it's
I love
about
it.
I'm about to hit somebody, I can't say that on YouTube. It would trump
Mhm.
Delaborze's, and I don't want to do that.
Well, I don't know. I see. That's the thing. I don't get road rage at all. Instead,
No, I don't either.
I'm pretty sure other people get road rage at me because I'm always the slowest car on the road. But then again, I haven't had an accident in
Are
like
you the one in the fast
30
lane
No,
Going
no,
real
Slowly.
slow.
and
the
won't
slowest
move
one.
over because the slower
No,
traffic should
no,
be
no.
on the other side?
No, I
No.
never go in the left lane. I'm always in
Okay.
the right lane, and I'm always the slowest car on the road. But then
Mhm.
again, I haven't had an accident in like something like 37 years. So
Right.
Yeah.
I guess I'm doing something right.
Jules has a comment. And then
Well, if you
Teresa.
lived in Australia and you're in the right lane, that's the fast
Oh,
lane.
that's good point. Good point. Good point. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Mhm.
There you
right.
go.
Oh,
There
just
you
so
go.
upside
Well, I'm
down,
just gonna say
inside
one
out,
thing.
and back
I'm
to
gonna say
front.
one thing about that. Well, that explains everything.
So let's back up just a second. So we have this thing with the road rage. We have an accident. Okay. Then one thing builds on another, and I'm going to give you two sides to the coin here. The really not so good thing is that you keep manifesting things you don't want, because that leads to health issues. I was banged up pretty bad. That leads to finance issues. And you wonder, after you've layered all these things and with all these negative thoughts, and you're just in this trap, you're in this trap. And years later, or a couple of years, you go, how the hell did I end up here? What happened? I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, you did. Yet you kept manifesting the worst possible outcome of everything that happened in layers. It's like stacks. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, the
Those are
opposite is also true.
expensive
The
thoughts.
stacks. That stacks
Yes,
is a
Delabor.
code word. Yeah.
Now, the opposite is also
Good
true.
one.
That's what
Always,
I've
Teresa.
been living through.
There's
this
always
week.
what they call, if people look,
Yeah.
a silver lining.
Yeah.
Keeping a positive thought. Keeping
Right.
your thoughts positive is going to give you the best possible chance of being balanced, in my opinion.
Now,
Not
see,
just
that's
positive
the
thoughts. It has to be an intellectual thought, in my eyes. Because not just a positive. I mean, really, that's old school. We were doing that when we were like in kindergarten in my generation,
Yeah, that's
just
right.
be positive. Just be positive. I know you can get across that monkey bar, whatever those things are, don't you just keep doing it. You'll make it, but now as an adult, me and my elderly age, I mean, I have to face the fact that I am elderly, but I always think intellectually, is it a smart choice? Is it do I
Is
need
it a positive
What
or a
do you
negative?
want?
Yeah, I mean, there's only
Yeah, well,
positive,
there
there's
you
only
go.
negative.
It has to
So-
be.
Young
It has
at
to be
heart.
right brain, left brain balance.
Yeah.
So you both the sacred pillars together, and then it manifests. It just
Right.
like they say in the South, they just do. It just do. It do.
That's the gender principle of alchemy right there. That's gender. In other words, it has to agree with your
and
left
law of
brain,
attraction. Yeah,
left brain and right brain.
Yeah.
Balance.
There's the flip side to that coin is, okay, so now we've just talked about how you can stack it in a not so great way, right?
Yeah.
And I was
Getting
just telling
stacked
Lori,
is fun.
was it this morning, Lori? I don't know if it was this morning or yesterday, but I was recognizing some things, and she sent me a video to watch, and it triggered me. The video was wonderful, and I realized that, and I've told you guys before, manifesting something like, oh, I need a new radio, or I need a new toaster, or I need a new microwave, or I need a new car is one thing. But when you're talking about how you want to live, what your destiny is, living your life's purpose, and where you see the rest of your life going.
Your moral values.
Yeah, you also have the ability to layer in a positive way the things that you're trying to manifest. It's almost like being a project manager and having a project plan with milestones. And to get from point A to point B, these are the things you want to think about. These are the things you want to accomplish. And so you put that video that Lori showed, where they're putting one step in front of the other. You're taking action. It's forward movement, forward motion. So you're visualizing, you're thinking of the things that suit your needs, the things that bring you joy, the things that bring you happiness, who you want to be with, where you want to be. And so you start doing little things, one baby step at a time, not overnight. A lot of people think, oh, well, manifesting is about abracadabra. Get out a crystal and snap your fingers and it happens overnight. But it's a layered approach, and you go with the flow of it, and you think it through. You actually think it through and
But
visualize it.
getting into that, I would say, yes, I mean, the paranormal is one of the ways that you can manifest change in your life. But I would say that of all the ones that we've discussed, it's probably the most difficult one.
How so?
But then again, everybody is capable. Every single one of us, every single one watching this has these, what I call these superpowers of the human biomind. Every single person can do teleportation, can do telekinesis, can do recognition, can do all of those things. It's just the degree to which you believe in yourself and the degree to which it requires mental energy to do that.
Right.
In other
and
words,
if you don't believe, it's not going to happen.
Well, not just that, but it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to take a
add skill to people. Add skill
no, it's economy. It's economy. It's economy. It's a
Well,
lot easier to take your hand and bend a spoon than to use your mind to bend it, because you don't really need to do that. But let's say that spoon is located somewhere in Antarctica, and you want to bend it. Well, of course, you can't use your hand to do that. You can only do that here.
Yeah. Man, one of the biggest roadblocks to successful manifestation is frustration and anxiety. This comment that Regina made, good things come to those who wait. It's accepting responsibility and then doing everything you possibly can. That's what I learned, and I'm still learning it. And then being patient about it. And as a human being, I'm going to have moments of anxiety or tension. It's just going to happen, but I can get over it faster now than I could before. So before I internalized it to the extent where it made me ill. But now I can recognize it, vent it out, get it out of my system and move on. But it's the combination, didn't we say, Lori, of accepting responsibility and being patient.
Be patient with yourself. It's not going to happen all in one day. So don't put so much pressure on yourself all the time.
Yeah, you're putting pressure.
Yeah. Jules?
Like I said, I think on the last one, it's the ability to respond instead of saying responsibility, because that in itself is heavy, using that word.
Yeah, I agree.
So, a lot of the wording and the phrasings that we've used, you can flip it. And that's like what I always say is look at it from all the angles. So again, keep telling yourself that whatever you're telling yourself. And I watch that when people just keep telling themselves, and it just keeps reoccurring because you keep telling yourself it's going to happen that way.
Be careful what you say to yourself. Be careful what thoughts you put in your mind.
And patience isn't, as you know, I've been patient because I've known this energy that's here now and the beauty that's here now and everything that's here now is not what it was here last week or the month before or the year before, because we're progressing, each person on the planet.
You're a different person every day.
Yeah, and I thank everyone for their gifts and talents, because everybody's got something of this puzzle. And so in telling yourself what you just say, I know what I'm capable of. If everyone was to say that, that doesn't limit yourself from whatever it is, because your cap is this, your crown, your corona, whatever you want to call it, this is, and you're able to do it. You're capable. And so capable. So by saying that you're capable of it, fake it till you make it, you're telling your cells that you can do it, and so you can do it. And so that's what you like. This week has been a seed planting week for me in my community, and anyway, so I've watched. I just want to share quickly something, because it is what's going on the planet, so it affects all of us. So we went to a local council meeting of the old kind, and we are the new ones forming the new from the ground up. Now, there was a group of people that went that weren't particularly with us, and it's the first time the meeting had been open to the public since the pandemic. And so we went in there and sat, and I could sense some energy with this certain group. So then we skip through all that, and we all then go to the cafe, and I'm sitting opposite the man that was a little aggro. I thought, oh, this is going to be interesting. So I used the whole analogy, and I'm looking at him totally face to face, and I said, I know what you are looking at is different to what I'm looking at. The screen behind me is different to the one I'm looking at. So there's two different angles here. Now, I said, if you keep saying that there's going to be a such and such, and I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to create that. And I said, well, us girls here, we don't see that view. We've already created the new earth, and it's all beautiful because that's the view we've seen. And so I then proceeded to then speak to his friend, where he was getting a lot of the information I was saying, and he could hear me. And his partner had just suffered some strokes. Now, she has taken on his anger. But I could not say that to him, and I could not say that to her. But I said to them both, and this is where it started to calm the energy down, I said, your wife's got this. And I said, if you want to talk to your cells, you can actually ask your body to regenerate so that the stroke, and that probably went over the top of her head. But then I said to her husband, you could put your hands on this, your wife, and again, ask her body to regenerate. And so I was saying these things. Now, she, of all courses, created the stroke to calm him down so he's not so irate, because he was, and that was the energy we were all feeling. But after the conversation, I looked into his eyes, and I knew I had connected by giving him a different angle to look at.
Yeah. Give her something to think about. Yeah.
So
a different view. Yeah.
A different view. And that's how I first started. The one behind you. What was that, Jeannie?
So she had a stroke, but she could understand what you say, but she couldn't move.
Well,
she had a stroke.
I couldn't say it from, like I've just shared with you. I'm not going to sit there in front of them both and say, you took this stroke because your husband's angry. Am I going to?
No, that's not what I meant. But no, that's not what I meant to say. I'm just saying that if there's a stroke victim involved, they're not going to get all of that.
No, I won't be able to.
Yeah, that was Jules's point, though. I think, Griff, that was her point. Yeah. She just gave him enough to try to get him to shift that energy without having to go into all that detail. Because people aren't, they're not open to that. There's too much limit in the mind. They limit themselves.
So the simple thing is that we're opposite each other. And I first said, the wall behind me is what you see. It doesn't make it wrong for me. I just can't see it at the moment because I'm not looking at it. Now, that's the most logical, easiest way to show someone, to show a different angle or a view. And then I said, the one behind you, you cannot see at the moment. because you're not looking
you
at it at
can.
the moment, you know. So,
Yeah.
but I know he had calmed down his anger, and I was looking at his soul through his eyes, and he's on the right page. He's just going about the wrong way of how to get what he wants, but he's using anger because he's a biker. He's an old biker.
Right.
So
Right.
he's got that in him, but his wife has had the stroke to calm him down. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, wife, for creating that conscious awareness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To quiet him down a bit. Yeah.
So what's
Yeah.
right about the situation
Mm-hmm.
is that she's
He's
chosen
not
to
a
do
grumpy
that.
pants anymore.
Yeah, because he has to care for her, doesn't he?
Right. Right.
So in that
Yeah.
situation, it looks like it's terrible,
Yeah.
but good on her, and thank you for choosing to do that
Mm-hmm.
to get the outcome that we need so that we're not having this terrible catastrophe worse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
Wow.
just an angle.
Yep. Yep. Just Jules' angle. I like it. Well, we're just complete and total mastery manifestors, good or bad, positive or negative. We create our now. It's that simple, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
And
we do.
I like what one of the points that Lori brought out in the video, which I thought was really profound and so true to my knowing. And she said it to me before as we were trying to pull all this together. Manifesting is a cooperative experience between you, your guides, your oversoul. So you're not alone. So you don't have to do all this creating all by yourself in a box. I mean, you can, and you can make great achievements. But a lot of the manifesting that I've done of late has been because I've opened up, like I was saying in the beginning of the show, and shared things that I was feeling and thinking, you know, with someone else. And it's that exchange, you know, of being able to release that and hearing other perspectives that helps bring balance and focus to help you. Oh, I could be thinking about it this way, or I could be using this technique to help me bring it. You know, so going inside,
In other words,
talking to
reframing.
yourself.
Yeah, reframing.
Thank
That's
you.
a good way
Thank
to
you,
put it,
Dalibor.
Dalibor.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Perfect.
and she brought that up in the video, and I thought that was really important.
The other thing is don't forget to give yourself a pat on the back. I mean, when you do something really good, man, just like give it to yourself, you know? Damn, that's good.
Yeah,
Or,
she sends
God,
me these
I
little
love how you do that,
emotion.
Lori.
mouse pat on the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
Just
manifestation
picture
is
those
a
big
new
Mickey Mouse hands with the
Yeah.
big white gloves and just pat yourself all over and say good job. And people
Yeah.
don't do that. People don't do that. God, you're so smart. I just love it when you're smart. Pat, pat, pat.
Be playful.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah. Have some
Yeah.
gratitude, you know, for yourself. And why not give it to yourself? What,
And
Teresa?
folks, getting mad at your guides.
Oh, you know this one, and I know this one.
This one.
Mhm.
It's like, why didn't you just tell me that? Or you could have told me that a week ago, and I would have been
Tap,
fine
tap,
about
tap,
it.
tap.
Yeah. So it's like there are no quick solutions. Relying on other resources to solve your problems for you isn't going to work either.
No.
But
Sometimes.
our guides will tell us we don't manifest for you is the language Laura used. In fact, I think let me scroll. Let me scroll down here.
It
Our
depends
internal
They
entirely.
assist you. They assist you in your manifestation. They do not do it for you. They can't do it for
Right.
you. That's not
We
their
help
purpose.
you align
You're the
yourself.
creator.
We help you align yourself to meet your goals.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we are here to assist you. We cannot create your reality as we must allow others their free will choices.
Right.
So you don't have to get mad at your guides and want to slug them. It's sometimes they will hold back. I had my guide cross his arms the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and he crossed his arms. And I have a guide who, in my mind, looks like Sean Connery when he was older in the kilt.
Sorry.
Nate wears a kilt, and he looks like Sean Connery.
Love it.
And he stands there,
Love
and he
it.
spreads his legs apart, and he crossed his arms, and he cocked his head to one side, and one eyebrow went up. Like, I'm not answering this question for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't give you the answer to the test.
He wasn't giving me the answer on purpose, and I had to think about it for a while and come back around on it. And then I went to Lori, and Lori goes, "Well, blah blah blah," and Nate goes, "Ha ha 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 ha." It was deliberate so that I could learn something. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes they play games with you, but not in a harmful way.
Mm-hmm.
It's to help
You always want to be the player, though, not the pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Teresa, I don't know if you know this, but when I was talking to Nate today, he actually told me a joke. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
It tickled me to no end. Okay. He said, "Lori, I got a question for you." I said, "Okay, go ahead." And he said, "How do you know when a ghost is hungry?" And I said, "When it moans." And I said, "That's cute, Nate. I really like that joke." I said,
Wait a minute. Didn't he give you one the other
said
day?
that one time?
You said, "How do you
Mickey
know when
Mouse.
it goes?" What is it? It was like, and I said,
He said,
"You wouldn't use a bathroom," and you were like, "Remember that?"
Yeah. He was playing with me. He was actually just playing with me, and I got so tickled by it. I was like, I love that, because that's
This
the
is
kind
my
of stuff
guide.
I say. Yeah.
My guide messing with Lori, and Eric messes with me. So there you go.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, it's about 10:09, and I have a final takeaway here for you guys.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
So bear with me.
We love those takeaways.
I wrote it down so that I wouldn't screw it up. All right, here we go. There is hope. There is a way to carry on, and we are never alone. So each of us is a whole entity unto ourselves while still being parts of others, and the one limitless whole. And when we feel our needs are not being met, when we feel we're lacking in some way, what we believe we are lacking is already contained within us from the shared unified field that flows through us, animates us, and refuels us at all times. Part of it came from Joe Dispenza, Karen's friend. So here's some questions I came up with that we already hit on pretty well, so I was right. I knew you guys were going to hit on these. Ask yourself these questions when you're, manifesting. What are the things that you value in life? What do you value in life? What makes you the most happy? What gifts and talents do you want to share with others? What is the type of environment that you want to live in? And who are the ones you truly want to be with? Change your thinking. Step into the unknown and continuously visually create your reality with as much precise detail as you can. Invest in your future with your time, your creative energy, and finances. Manifesting is an investment. Eliminate addictions that rob you of energy and finances. Live a stress-free life without fear and anxiety. Tap it out, dance, and take good care of your body. Those are the things that I was listing over the past 2 or 3 days of little reminders to myself. And you darn if you didn't hit on most of these tonight. I think addictions are what did my sister and her daughter in. That's why they checked out of this life.
I'm gonna do holler belly dance. You
go ahead. So that's what I wrote down, Lori. I thought it was fitting.
Definitely.
Okay, girl.
Sophia and Jules.
So we got three belly dancers here.
They were dancing.
Edifying the soul tribe.
Yeah.
We have to. Laughter is the best medicine.
Yeah.
Well, Lori sent me these these dance videos or what kind of dance music do you like? She sent me some fun songs, and I'm like, okay, that's funny, and that really popped me. That lifted me up right away, and I was like, yeah, that's good. So there's all kinds of things you can do, but these are the key I think these are very key. It's what I've been picking up on, and what a lot of you. It summarizes what a lot of you were saying tonight. So, thank you.
I was
All
doing
of
the
you.
rock barn dance with my babies this morning. I had one on my hip
Yeah.
and one in my hand, and I
They love
I've been
As
there.
a baby.
Yeah.
Right on.
Well, so next
They're
week,
lucky to have you.
Hmm.
next
They-
week,
they
Little
picked
House
a
of
good
Thank
Metal.
you, Jeannie.
Ouch. Let's see.
Go ahead,
It
Teresa.
is- that's okay. I'm looking for it. Yeah, fear factor. We fear the things we know, not necessarily just the unknown. So chew on that a little bit. I'm not going to go into detail and tell you what I mean. Think about it. We fear
Get
some
courage.
things that we know can actually. So how do we deal with fear? Okay, because that's what
Courage
drives a lot of
is
people.
something. Yeah.
Yep.
Courage
Sometimes-
is something
Evidence
you know
appearing
that
to
is
you
a
is what
danger,
fear
but
is.
you just go for it anyway. That's what
sometimes,
courage
this sounds like a cop out, but sometimes if you ignore something, it does go away.
I like
Good
that.
one. It's true.
I like that.
True. It's true, Dalibor.
It doesn't mean
Don't
anything
focus
to
on
you
that.
if you don't work it out, though.
Don't
If you
feed
ignore it. And
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah,
truth.
because
Feed
the
it.
further and
Then-
further and
Well,
further
then-
away from that creationary field it is, and the less of power and the less.
Yep.
it-
Just
it
close the
has.
door on it.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, if
Have it
it's
if
the
you have
truth,
to.
though, if it's the truth, you
Right,
don't,
Karen?
some of those things are the hardest things to not walk away from truth when it's the truth.
Yeah.
And it's a moral, ethical decision that
Face that truth.
once you see something, you've
Mhm.
seen it, you cannot unsee it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's what
doing
we're going
the
to talk about.
consciously doing the moral right thing. But to ignore it is like the base word of ignorant in my eyes. So some things you have priorities, you don't really just ignore something. When you have a flat tire, you don't ignore it and keep driving on it. You fix it.
Oh, no.
Well, you can't
There's
have it all for
something.
one thing.
No,
Yeah,
no.
you could
Some
drive
things
on
you
that
can't
sucker,
ignore.
and the
Yeah.
rubber's
Yeah,
gonna come off, and it'll still
mess it
roll,
up
but
and
you know,
yourself.
it'll get you there.
Okay, so Jeannie just hit on the cusp of that's what we're going to be talking about in
Oh,
more detail next week.
Next week.
Can I just say-
folks, go ahead,
wait.
Jules. Go ahead, Jules.
Well, someone used to say, "Oh, your head's in the sand," and I turned around and said, "Oh, it's full of quartz." So I'm actually connected with the whole radio system.
I like that.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
Quartz is
No,
No,
the
I'm
man.
not
Right,
even going to
Logan.
say what I was thinking. Oh, that's terrible. I'm
Okey
terrible
doke.
sometimes.
After the show. After the show.
No, it
Sometimes the
wasn't
after
a
show is
mean
more
thing.
fun.
It wasn't a mean
Right?
thing, but it was like, seriously.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
so
Teresa,
be
final
intentional.
thoughts?
Be intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Look for the truth. See the greater good in everything, and ask what's right about this.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? What is it
Yep.
you want?
Yeah.
And what
Be
is it
clear.
you really want?
Be clear. Yep. Sounds good. All right. Well, thank
Okay.
you, panel. Thank you, everybody. Thank you all in chat. Thank you for
That was
the
fun.
that are watching and not chatting.
Oh, and
Thank-
keep those prayers and intents out there for our sister Khadijah Hammond, Voices of Egypt. She's still in the
Oh.
hospital. She has some lung damage to one of her lungs, and they're working on her. And she's got pneumonia, but she's her feisty self, and she's manifesting
God.
away.
Mhm.
She's been
Never.
talking to me and Karen. She's got all
Oh my
kinds
God.
of things, all kinds of plans, and Karen and I are working with her, trying to help her out. And we love you. We love you, Khadijah.
Oh,
We love you.
Awesome.
Yeah,
All right.
we do.
Well, on that note,
Namaste.
anything else, Teresa?
No, ma'am.
All righty then. We're going to say goodnight. Thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. And have a wonderful week. And we'll see you next week. Watch for the trailer. And until then, peace and love.
Love you, Lori. Love you, panel.
Love you
chat
guys.
room. Thank you,
Love
guys.
everybody.